Hey, welcome everybody. This is going to be a Week 16 matchup of Sparkyz Cast, Sparkyz versus SKT1, and this is going to be the last match in Round 2 of the 9-10 Pro League season, which it just so happens to be that the last match in Round 1 of the 9-10 Pro League season was against SKT1, and that match was awesome. I cannot tell you how excited I am about this rematch. I am way too pumped. That was probably the biggest upset in the Pro League of Round 1. Sparkyz swept SKT1 3-0. It included probably the biggest upset, individual game upset in the entire Pro League season, continued to this date, which involved one of the players here. So this is HoGiL for Sparkyz up here as the red Zerg in the northeast position, against Bisu, who was thoroughly embarrassed by the other Sparkyz player, Secret, who came out of nowhere and destroyed one of the best Protoss players in the world. So HoGiL up here, red Zerg, northeast, against Bisu, who is the yellow Protoss we see here. In the western position, they are playing on Outsider SE, and yeah, I'm excited. And honestly, I gotta feel good about this matchup too, because HoGiL, who is generally somebody that I don't have too much faith in, I'm actually feeling pretty confident about, because I don't know, he's got the reason that he keeps getting playtime is partially because he has a ridiculous 71% win rate in his lifetime against Protoss, so he is something of a Protoss sniper, and you know, this is a good map for Zerg to take out Protoss. It's a good map for Zerg in general. And actually we're seeing an interesting build because of that. Bisu opting to go... Well, actually, never mind. We see this a lot on Outsider, I suppose. Bisu going for 2 gateways in his base, a 1-base build, no Forge First Fast Expand on Outsider SE. So he will be playing for some early aggression rather than early economy, it looks like. And he is doing a great job. This is one of the things that Bisu is the best in the world at, is using his first probe to maximum advantage. He can keep his scouting probe alive forever, it seems sometimes, and also he can do things like that, like to delay that natural expansion from HoGiL from coming up for, I don't know, a good 30 seconds before that probe finally moved out of the way and the hatchery could be placed. So Bisu already with his probe doing a little bit of delay work, but HoGiL is able to place down that natural expansion. He already has some Zerglings out, so he will be looking to put on a little bit of pressure, but Bisu's going to play it safe and keep a couple Zealots on his ramp to block his front door. So HoGiL is going to be a little bit in the dark right here. I don't know if he sent his Overlord in the correct direction. I don't know where it is on the minimap, actually. I am not seeing it. Anyways, that probe scout, it looked like that just died, so HoGiL already doing better than a lot of opponents of Bisu and being able to take out that probe scout. So Bisu, you know, one of the most famous players for his scouting, losing his scouting advantage right now, and I gotta think that he's probably gonna try to send another probe in before he gets, well, I mean, I don't know if he's gonna get Corsairs because he's not going for the Forge First Fast Expand. So it looks like he is putting down that Stargate now. So yes, the Overlord did come in. It's got a full scout on Bisu's base. So HoGiL with a little bit of a scouting advantage right now. I don't know if he's able to see that Stargate going up, but he's got to assume that it's coming, I'm supposing. Yeah, there he is. He's going to see it right now. And so HoGiL knows that the Corsairs are coming, and Bisu is going to be denied scouting until that Corsair comes out, unless he sends a probe, like I was mentioning before. HoGiL, his natural expansion is up and running, and he is putting down a Hydralisk Den now. So maybe looking for some early Hydralisk play to stop some Zealots and Dragoons, but he could be using this just to go in to get lurkers as well. So we're going to see how he plays it. Bisu opting to go for an expansion not in his natural. Ooh, that Overlord just sneaking away. I thought that Overlord was doomed for sure. It likely will be doomed anyways because once that first Corsair comes out, it's going to run in and put a couple hits on that Overlord, and that'll be that. HoGiL actually looking a little tired or irritated in some way, squinting his eyes and rubbing them. That was kind of weird. But hopefully that's not going to affect his play too much, because really you have to bring your A game against somebody of Bisu's caliber, a player of Bisu's caliber. So there is that first Corsair, like I was saying, in 4 hits is able to kill the Overlord that was already massively damaged. So the Overlord lived for another couple of seconds, but hopefully that's all that HoGiL needed from it. In the meantime, Bisu is looking like he's trying to push out and maybe get a little bit more control over the map. He is going to be able to get a full scout with that Corsair on HoGiL's base. So far, not all that much interesting other than the Hydralisk Den. The Spire has just been built, and it is just finished, so a few Mutalisks or probably just Scourge to take care of this Corsair is out. The first Hydralisk is coming and defending that group of Overlords from the first Scourge, sorry, from the first Corsair. I'm getting distracted because I'm thinking what I'm going to be saying next. HoGiL was trying to sneak in a group of Zerglings into the main base of Bisu, but Bisu very wisely was able to keep a couple of Zealots on the ramp and prevent those Zerglings from getting in. I think that that group of Zerglings, excuse me, was able to force Bisu to at least cancel one of those cannons. It looks like he made him cancel another cannon, so cannons being very delayed over in Bisu's, what would be his natural expansion. He does have an expansion over in the southwest. He opted to go for one of the Outsider expansions on Outsider SE, and it is going to be Lurkers coming from HoGiL we're seeing here. So Bisu already has a second base up, and he is setting up to take his third at the typical natural position, and these Zerglings are being such pests. They're like cockroaches coming in and, spoiling all of the food in Bisu's natural expansion there in his pantry. So those cannons have been delayed so long that a Lurker is just able to walk completely into the natural expansion. More Lurkers coming in. Those cannons are actually having to be canceled once again. So those cannons those Zerglings being so clutch right there, being able to make Bisu cancel those cannons over and over again. So there's no scouting, no detection, for Bisu. And now they are Lurkers in Bisu's main base, attacking the main nexus, and the robotics facility is just now going down, so he's still got to build the robotics facility and an observatory and observers, which doesn't take all that long, but it is a pretty long time when you've got Lurkers attacking your gateways and attacking your main nexus. And focus firing here coming from HoGiL. That one cannon is finally being built. Are those units going to be able to kill it in time? No, they are not. It does not give them vision long enough, so 2 Lurkers still in Bisu's base having free reign. There is no detection. A third Lurker coming in with a couple of Zerglings that were acting as a distraction, and HoGiL has completely stopped mining at Bisu's base. He has completely prevented all mining. He has put up a couple of spore colonies to defend against these Corsairs that are roaming around, but honestly, he is in a great position right now. You rarely ever get the opportunity to put in Lurkers in your opponent's main base this early in the game. Bisu's observers are going to be coming out pretty soon. The robotics facility is finished. The observatory was building just a minute ago. Looks like it is done now, so it is coming right now. But another Lurker going down into that expansion base, and it's going to be able to get a couple of these probe kills because Bisu has to keep mining, because that is his only mining base. A huge amount of probe kills coming from that one Lurker before the observers come out, and Bisu's economy is just completely wrecked. And I think HoGiL is going to try to just finish this game off with 2 bases, and he's killed the main base. Oh my god, he has killed Bisu's main nexus, his starting nexus. This is just like 8 minutes into this game, 9 minutes into this game, and these Lurkers are just running around freely, killing things at will. They've already killed one of these nexi, and sending in one of those injured Lurkers. It's going to try to go in and help that other Lurker snipe off this this secondary nexus, the first expansion that Bisu built. If he is able to do that, that would be super clutch, because then Bisu would have absolutely no economy. Not that he has any economy really anyways, still getting a couple of kills with those Lurkers, and finally those troops are going to be able to deal with the initial lurkers. In the meantime, HoGiL has switched over and has built a pretty sizable group, I think about 6 Mutalisks, and that is GG. Sparkyz has the formula for beating Bisu, apparently. First Secret and now HoGiL. 2 huge underdogs, I would assume, against Bisu, such a high-caliber player, a player that before this game was 15-4 this season, 7-1 against Zerg, now 7-2, but just awesome. Sparkyz being able to find ways to beat Bisu and get an advantage over SKT1 in this Week 16 matchup. See you in Game 2.